Well, why don't you introduce yourself to my audience?
Yes. So I'm Jason Thornton. I am a CFP. That means I am a certified financial planner, which is the highest standard for financial advisors around the world. All right. I specialize in tax and retirement planning for my clients. My firm is based out of St. Louis, Missouri, but I serve clients all over the country. The way that I found myself in YouTube is that I have clients in the real world who watch the same viral videos from the financial influencers, and they would hit me up and say, "Hey, JT, is this something that I can do?" Oftentimes I would tell them, "Hey, not only can you not do this, this is probably illegal, right? It's either tax evasion or some sort of pyramid scheme." And eventually I would kind of make reaction videos for my clients privately, kind of telling them, "Hey, this is stupid." And then I said, let me try doing it on YouTube for the greater audience. And 130 something thousand subscribers later, it kind of snowballed into what we have today.
Yeah. And it's needed. Talking about money, people don't like to talk about money, like to spend it. They know they got to make it in order to spend it. Listen, I am a spender. But I'm not getting any younger. And it's like, okay, you want to grow old gracefully, with a nice nest egg and healthy, if just in case have slip fall or whatever the case may be. So
that is so true. There are people who will openly discuss in great detail their sex life, but will not talk about their financial life in any meaningful way. They'll brag about the new car that they bought or the new bag that they bought. They'll brag about the superficial stuff. But if you try to sit them down and say, "Hey, do you have a budget? How much do you actually have in savings? Have you been contributing to your retirement plan?" They are not trying to have that conversation whatsoever. I try to have it over here on my channel, try to open up the floor and give people an opportunity to ask an actual qualified, certified financial advisor these type of questions. But we've got to kind of shift that in the culture.
Yeah, definitely. We have that. It's American culture and Black culture
all together.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's get into it. I'm calling it, they're calling it Trump accounts, right?
Yes.
Let me share this. Pros and cons of the $1,000 baby bonus in Trump accounts, according to experts. And you are an expert. So Republicans' tax and spending bill includes a new savings account for children that comes with $1,000 deposit from the federal government. Earnings in Trump accounts grow tax deferred, and qualified withdrawals are taxed at a long-term capital gains rate. Experts weigh in on how the measure stacks up. The other tax advantage savings plan. And I want to play this clip real quick.
Okay.
Because he announced this, I think it was Monday. He had a roundtable in the White House with all the big bank and financial industry heads. This is quick.
Here's how the accounts work. For every U.S. citizen born after December 31st, 2024, before January 1st, 2029, the federal government will make a one-time contribution of $1,000 into a tax-deferred account that will track the overall stock market. In other words, it'll be pegged to an index that we'll pick. Right, Michael? We'll pick it. We'll pick a good one. Maybe you should be the index. I'd like to have that. These kids would be very wealthy if that were the case. That would be a good idea. I think we might do that, Michael Dell. These accounts will be private property controlled by the child's guardians, and in many cases, those guardians will be the parents. We think probably the parents will be the guardians. They'll be open for additional private contributions each year from family, friends, parents, employers, churches, private foundations, and more. This is a pro-family initiative that will help millions of Americans harness the strength of our economy to lift up the next generation, and they'll really be getting a big jump on life, especially if we get a little bit lucky with some of the numbers and the economies into the future. In addition to the substantial financial benefits of investing early in life, extensive research shows that children with savings accounts are more likely to graduate high school and college, buy a home, start a business, and are less likely to be incarcerated. Trump accounts will contribute to the lifelong success of millions of newborn babies. They are fully, and this will be very interesting, I think, for everybody to hear, they are fully funded through targeted reforms in the One Big Beautiful Bill, like the $1.7 trillion in mandatory savings, welfare reforms to stop waste and fraud, a 3.5% remittance tax, and more.
So, what is your take on it?
All right. So there's a lot of confusion of what it is, what it's not, and what people are comparing it to. Okay. Personally, I think it's a great opportunity for working class Americans, especially working class African Americans, Black people in the United States. It's a great opportunity for people who are not used to investing, period, and especially for people who are not used to investing for their child. Okay. There are different options. There's always been options for investing for the future of your child. One of the biggest ones that they're comparing this to is what's referred to as a 529 plan. A 529 plan is an investment account that you can set up and you can have your child as the beneficiary of this account. When you put money in the 529 plan, you do not get a tax deduction, but the money will grow tax-free. And as long as you use it for education, you will never pay any taxes on the growth of that money. That is a plan that's been around for a very long time. Everyone really has the option to do that plan. There is a cap of how much money you can put in it. There's different things that you can do to finesse to put more in. But in 2025, it's $19,000 that you can put into a 529 plan annually for the child. Here's an issue that I get with a lot of people who call into my show and people who are just kind of new to the world of investing. They are afraid to invest in that account because they are unsure if their child is actually going to need it for education. Like, what if my child want to do this with the money, want to do that for the money? And whenever you give a person too many options, it can kind of paralyze them from actually making a decision. A lot of options sound good, but when you give a person who is not used to investing that many options and they're afraid that they're going to pick the wrong thing, it can cause them not to act. With this Trump account, it's like a stepping stone. Before a person can really dive into the deep end of the pool of investing for their children, this is a great stepping stone towards that because, number one, it's getting funded with $1,000 at the beginning, right? That gives someone initiative to do something. It's getting funded immediately, right, from the federal government. Another option or another component of it that's good is there's not a lot of options of what you're going to invest in. They're already saying, well, you put money in this and we're going to peg it to the index fund, right? The S&P 500, is an index fund that has over the years given around 10% annual returns, which is good. They're going to peg it to an index. So it takes the fear from an early investor to say, I don't know what to invest in. Should I throw it at Tesla stock? Should I throw it at this? Should I throw it at that? That's gone now. You put it in, it's going to be pegged to an index so they don't have to worry. So that's one good thing. The other thing is, it's like you're automatically enrolled, right? It's like you don't have to worry about it. The government's going to set it up for you. And the reason why I say that's important is this. Many people have an employer plan at their job that is sitting there that they can invest in for their retirement. The problem is you have to opt into the plan. When you first get employed there, they give you a bunch of paperwork. The paperwork looks like it's written in Mandarin, right? That you don't understand it. It's weird. Most people are kind of living paycheck to paycheck. So they say, well, what's the big deal about me putting $50 every paycheck or $100 every paycheck? I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'd rather have that money now than worry about investing it. When I make more money, I'll invest later. But later never actually happens. And based on the numbers that I researched, plans where you have to opt in, where you have to jump through hoops to get included, it's about a 28% enrollment rate, right? So that says that there's over 70% of people who are not participating in their employer retirement plan because of the hoops that they have to jump through to get enrolled. Now, there are some plans where you have to opt out, meaning if you do nothing, the employer automatically enrolls you in. Guess what's the enrollment rate on a plan where you have to jump through hoops to get out?
What's the enrollment?
90%. That's a huge 28% if you have to fill out the paperwork to do it. 90% enroll when they say, oh, well, they did all the paperwork for me. They already have a certain amount that's going in automatically. And you see more success rates going up for people saving and investing for their retirement because opting in is easy. They actually have to jump through hoops, opt out. And I feel like this Trump plan and these Trump accounts are kind of like that. It's an automatic enrollment. You got it. There's not much you have to do. It's going to get funded with the first $1,000. I think that's important. So I want to mention one more plan, though, too. Traditionally, we had the 529 plan. I talked about that. There's also another way that you can invest for the future of your children, and it's referred to as an UGMA account. Right? We love weird acronyms and stuff when it comes to the finance world. It's really based off an act passed by Congress. It's referred to as the Uniform Gift to Minors Act. But basically what it is, it's an investment account, a brokerage account in the name of your child. But you as the parent, you are the one that is funding it. You are the one that is making the decisions. You're the custodian of the account. What this Trump accounts are, it's kind of like the best of both worlds between the 529 plan and the UGMA account. And it's a stepping stone for that person who really doesn't know what to do. Because with the Trump plan, you can use it for education. You can use it for starting a business, right? You can use it for, things that are a little bit more broad, right? Buying your first home. These are the things that you can use it for. And it opens up in steps. So when the child turns 18, they have use of 50% of the account. So 50% of the account, they can use it for first-time home buyer, education, starting a business. When they turn 25, now they can use 100% for those three things. When they turn 30, they can use it for whatever they want.
I think, let me just jump in for a second. I think that is so great because it starts January 1st of this year, 2025, until of 2029, the end of 2029. Right. So whoever's born between that,
they get the $1,000. Yes.
Right. And so black, white, or what have you, but specifically for Black people, that 5-year generation right there, it's how can I put it, to where it's like it's going to save that family lineage from being in poverty. I believe
it gives them a head start.
Yes, it gives
more than any other generation when it comes to investing at the beginning, investing at birth, having that $1,000 fed in, and then other people can invest as well. They're also, providing opportunities because the max you can fund it per year is $5,000. You can put $5,000 in per year, and they're not just saying, okay, parent,
1,000 and let it sit and grow.
Right. And you can let it sit and grow, but you can contribute to it $5,000 per year. And they're saying, hey, yeah, the parents can, but also the grandparents. Also, nonprofit organizations, churches can kind of funnel money into these accounts. And these accounts are basically kind of locked up until that child gets to 18, where you can spend half. Then 25, you can spend the whole on those three things. And then 30, where you can spend the money on anything. So I think it's a great opportunity because some people are saying, well, what about the rich people? The rich people don't need this. Well, the rich people were going to already use either the 529 plan or the UGMA account. They're fine, right? Like, stop worrying about what the rich folk was going to do with it. This is actually targeted to working class individuals in the United States, especially when you think about the Black community. We talk about financial literacy. We talk about it a lot, but this is actually putting your money where your mouth is. You have an opportunity to automatically be enrolled in a plan where your child can build real wealth for the future, targeting, trying to steer them and promote to say, hey, education, home ownership, which is a big part of building wealth in this country, are starting a business. Those are the three things. And you are only taxed at the capital gain rate, right? The capital gain rate for most people who are going to be dealing with, we're talking about 15%, not ordinary income where it's taxed. No. We're talking about 15% for the majority of the people who are going to be dealing with this. And if you decide to use it for something else outside of those three things, well, yeah, you're going to be taxed at the ordinary income rate, but that still is not that big of a deal because most of the people who are going to benefit at the highest points when we're talking about working class individuals, their tax rates are, you're talking about 20, 22%, maybe less.
So let me ask you this as well, because right. So these are children who are just born this year and kids who are not conceived yet. And I think this is also a way that Trump is doing. This is one of many incentives, because in that bill, he also want to get rid of taxing gratuity and overtime. And that's the big thing. But anyway, just sticking to this, I think it encourages people to have babies.
But also, even if you're not one of the newborn babies who would get the 1,000, as long as your child is 8 or under, you can still open a plan for them. Even though they're not getting that $1,000 funded, you can still put in your $5,000 per year for any child that's under 8. You can open up the plan and you can keep that plan going all the way till they reach 18.
The Trump account plan?
Yeah, as long as they're under 8, they just won't get that.
Orange.
Yeah, no, the newborns get the $1,000. My understanding is this: the newborns get the $1,000.
Okay.
But an account can be open, a Trump account can be open for ages 8 and under.
Oh, okay. I didn't read all that. Okay.
It's new. That's what I got from my interpretation. We're going to get more information. You know, that the House passed it. Now the Senate has to pass it, and there may be some changes. But my understanding is, as long as the person is 8 and under, so you can open up the account.
Can I open up an account for my grandkids?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Because I thought it was just for people being born, but it's also, but that's being born means automatic.
Automatic $1,000 getting funded.
But 8 and under, you
can get the account
and fund it myself, and then it sit in the index and grow.
As long as you are a U.S. citizen with a real Social Security number, you get the benefit from this. Yes.
And with that, I want to say thank you so much for coming on. I definitely want to have you come back.
Oh, sure.
Because I do want to pick up the conversation with the Freedman Bank. That needs to be talked about more, and some other things too with the finance and the economy and everything.
Sure.
So thank you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And then too, I'm going to send you an email for my own personal financial assistance.
I got you.
I need some advisement.
I got you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Pocket Watcher. Again, people can go at Pocket Watcher JT on YouTube. And is that the same one for your IG as well?
Yes. You just go Pocket Watcher JT. You can find me. You can go to my website, which is pocketwatcher.net. I offer free consultations. You can just go to the website. You can book a free consultation with my office. You can speak with me one-on-one with whatever financial or money questions you have.
Okay. Thank you so much. And we will definitely talk soon.
All right.
Dana with the data. Dana with the data.